Hi crocheters of the world, I'm Oana and this is Oana's crochet channel on YouTube, and in this tutorial I want to show you how to crochet this beautiful stitch, which is shell stitch, crisscross shell stitch. It's actually a shell stitch, but the nice thing in this stitch is this beautiful crisscross that we have. So I think it's really nice, and you'll see it's really easy. And I actually have for you some projects with this stitch. So actually there will be projects for baby boys, because you know I always think of baby girls, and now I said okay, I have to think of baby boys too. So let us begin with the stitch, and then I will show you of course how to work it. Now what I want to say is that just to make a swatch, just to try the stitch, you can make a nice pot holder, just an idea, okay? Now of course you can make beautiful blankets with this stitch, or bags, or so on, I don't know, maybe pillows, yes. So there are many things that you can make with the stitch. I work it with 3 colors. You can work it with only 2 colors, but from my point of view, you must work with at least 2 colors just to have a nice stitch. Okay, now let's get started. The stitch is a multiple of 6 plus 2, and we will begin with a single crochet row that won't be part of our repeating sequence, so it's just a foundation row. Now to create the multiple, we just want to put 1 2 3 4 5 6, so groups of 6 chains, 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and I will stop here because for the swatch it's just perfect, but of course it's like this that you have to go on. Now when you finish the length of the project that you want to make with this stitch, you just want to chain 2 more. Okay, as I said, for the very first row we will just work into the second chain from the hook 1 single crochet, and we will proceed with single crochets in each chain that we have, and this is the foundation row. Now that I finished with my foundation single crochet row, I will begin with my first row of my repeating sequence. For this stitch we will have 4 rows to repeat for the length that we need. Now to begin, we will chain 3 for the first double crochet, and we want to work 2 more double crochets into the very first single crochet. Okay, now we will skip the next 2 single crochets, and into the third we want to work a single crochet. Now we yarn over, skip again 2 single crochets, and into the third work a shell with 5 double crochets, 3 4 and 5. And we will continue on like this for the length that we have. So skip 2 single crochets, work a single crochet into the third, skip 2 single crochets, work a 5 double crochets 5 double crochets shell into the next, so into the third. So actually it's into the third that we will work a stitch, shell stitch or single crochet. Now skip 2 single crochets, and into the next work a single crochet, and now I am at the end of my row, and at the end I will begin as I will finish as I began. So with 3 double crochets, and these 3 double crochets are actually a shell, a half shell. Okay, so this is the row with half shells, and of course we will have the row with entire shells. So into the last single crochet put 3 more double crochets to finish your row, and this is the first repeating row. Now I will just chain 1 and cut the yarn. I always like to cut the yarn when I have to change color, and to begin with the next color, just to attach it with a slip stitch and to go on. We will, instead of changing color and work the tails inside. It's that, I don't know, it's my option. You can just go on and work by changing color instead of cut the yarn actually, but for me it's easier like this. And at the end I will just wave in actually the tails, and the project is just fine and clear. Okay, now let us change color, because we just cut the yarn and we want to slip knot, and we want to slip stitch into the last double crochet worked, and I won't work over the tails. I will leave the tails here. Now chain 1 and turn, of course, and into the very first double crochet that we have here, work 1 single crochet, and this is the second row to repeat. Now 1 single crochet, chain 1, yarn over, and now we will crisscross the double crochets. And as you can see, we have the single crochet here in the middle of 2 shells. So I will work in between, so actually not into the stitch, but in between the single crochet and the shell here. I will insert the hook on the left side of the single crochet, and I will work just a double crochet and the chain 1, yarn over, and now back on the right side of the same single crochet in between the stitches, work the next double crochet, and this is actually the crisscrossed double crochet. Okay, now chain 1 and into the third double crochet of your shell, work a single crochet. Now chain 1 again, and let us crisscross in between the shells, so around, not around, but on the left side and then on the right side of the single crochet. So yarn over, insert the hook on the left side of our single crochet, work a double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, and now back on the right side of the same single crochet, work your second double crochet. Now chain 1 again, and we just want to repeat this. Single crochet on the third double crochet of the shell, and chain 1 and yarn over, and again the same thing. So on the left side of the double crochet of the single crochet, work a double crochet and chain 1. Back on the right side, work a double crochet. And of course we will chain 1 and we will finish the row as we began. So into the third chain of the beginning chain 3 of the previous row, work a single crochet. And this is our second row to repeat. Now let us begin our third row to repeat. And as I said, we will change color after each 2 rows. Okay, so for the third row to repeat, we will just want to work a chain 1 and to turn, and into the single crochet we will work a single crochet. And now we will work the shells. Actually this third row, so the first row I said was the row with our halves, 2 halves of a shell. So we have 2 shells and 2 halves. Now into this, as you can see here where we have the crisscrossed double crochets into the chain space, we will work the shells, and we have 3. So we will have 3 shells. So this is the row with all the shells worked entire. So we begin with single crochet and we work all the shells. Of course, if you want to make a blanket, you will have more, but the idea is that you will have all the shells entire. Into this row, you will have all the shells entire, less one that is half and half at the beginning, at the end of the row. Okay, now I single crocheted, yarn over, skip directly in between our crisscross double crochets, so into the chain, and work your shell. So it's that simple. 3, of course, with 5 double crochets. 4 and 5. And now chain 1 and skip the single crochet here. So we just chain 1, yarn over, and skip directly into the chain 1 space in between the next crisscross double crochet of the previous row. And we work our shell. 3, 4 and 5. Okay, now chain 1 again, and we just repeat, skip into the chain 1 space of the next crisscrossed double crochets of the previous row. 3, 4 and 5. And of course we want to finish the row as we began it. So with a single crochet into the single crochet of the next of the previous actually row. Okay, and now we are ready again to change yarn because we already complete 2 rows with the same color. So chain 1 to secure and cut your yarn. And this is what we have. Now I will take my 3rd color and I will begin with my 4th row of the repeating sequence, the 4th and the last actually. And for this I will attach my new color with a slip stitch and I will chain 3, turn and work 1 more double crochet into the first single crochet because the chain 3 is the first double crochet. Okay, now chain 1 and into the 3rd double crochet of the first shell work a single crochet, chain 1, and in between the shells here we will work the crisscross double crochets, but yarn over, we don't want to work them into the previous row, but into the row, first row with the white color, so into the row with the crisscrossed double crochets. It's here that we will work them. We have the single crochet and the 2 chain 1 spaces, 1 on the left of the single crochet, 1 on the right of the single crochet. Now we will insert the hook around the one of the left first and we work the double crochet. Okay, and now we will chain 1, yarn over, and we will turn back on right side and we will insert the hook around the chain space on the right side of the single crochet. And this is how you have to crisscross. Now chain 1 and insert the hook into the 3rd double crochet of the next shell and work a single crochet and a chain 1. And now again we will repeat the same thing. So around the chain 1 space on the left side we work the double crochet and chain 1. And now around the chain 1 space on the right side of the single crochet we work the next double crochet. Now chain 1 and into the 3rd double crochet work of the shell work a single crochet, chain 1, and of course we want to finish the row as we began it, so which means we will work into the last single crochet 2 double crochets. And actually this is what we have to repeat for the length of our project. So we will begin again with our first row, which is the row with less one shell and 2 halves of the beginning at the beginning and at the end of our at the beginning and at the end of our row. Okay, so let us begin. Only that there will be a difference, because we will work, actually, you will see. And that's why I just want to show you the first row to repeat again one more time. Okay, so chain 3, turn and work 2 more double crochets into the very last double crochet of the previous row. Okay, and this is actually what we have. Now, instead of skipping 2 single crochets as we did here on the first row of the repeating sequence, we will just chain 1 in between, so it's actually easier. We will just chain 1 in between the shells. Okay, so chain 1, and this is the difference. Yarn over and skip directly into the chain 1 space in between the crisscross 2 double crochets of the previous row and work your first entire shell. This is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1 and again skip directly into the chain 1 space of the crisscrossed double crochets of the previous row. And that's all. Actually, from here we just have to repeat the second, the third, and the fourth row. 1, 2, 3, yeah. And now again chain 1, and we want to finish the row as we began it into the third chain of the beginning chain 3 of the previous row. Just work your half shell, which means you will work 3 double crochets. Chain 1 to secure and cut your yarn. Okay, and here we are. Now we just want to change color, and to continue on we will repeat now the second row and then the third and so on. Now I just want to show you how to finish. When you want to finish, actually the length of your project is just perfect and you want to finish, you will finish. This will be the second to last, so this with 2 halves of shells. This will be the second to last, and this will be the last. So this is the row that it's, from my point of view, just perfect to finish. So this is actually the second row to repeat. It's the second row to repeat, which means we want to chain 1 and to insert the hook into the first. So to chain 1 I said, but I didn't chain 1 actually, and to single crochet. And now we will work the crisscross. So chain 1, yarn over, and around the chain 1 space here, this row, on the left side we want to crisscross. Chain 1 and we insert the hook on the right side now, and we obtain our crisscross double crochet. Chain 1, work a single crochet on the top of the third double crochet of our shell, and chain 1, yarn over and into the chain 1 space on the left side of the single crochet here. We want to double crochet, chain 1, and now on the right side, so back, actually we go back. On the right side of the single crochet we want to double crochet and then chain 1, insert the hook into the third double crochet of the previous shell, of the next shell, and single crochet into it, chain 1, and let us work our last crisscrossed double crochet with a chain 1 in between. Now back on the right side of the single crochet and work another double crochet, chain 1, and as we began we want to finish, which means that into the third chain 3 here, let me just find it, I want to single crochet, and I will chain 1 and cut the yarn because I don't want to continue on, but if you want to continue on, of course you will just work one more row with the same color. So this is it. It's actually easy. Okay, and what we have to do with these tails. So let us take our first pair. We just want to make a simple knot, so just this, and then we take a sewing needle and we will weave in color to color. So how can I say, this is my purple here, and okay, this is the back side actually, and I will just weave in here into the purple, oops, okay, and then with the white I will just go on into the white. So that's all, just a few stitches, you don't need. Okay, and now I just want to cut my yarn and to take the white, and actually it's like this that I like to wave in the ends. Okay, and now I will just want to go and to sew, seam here some stitches just to secure, okay, like this. And now I can cut the yarn again here. Okay, now next pair of tails here is this one, so a just simple knot, and with the white we will go over the white, and with the purple we will go over the purple. Oh. As you can see, it's really easy. Okay, like this. Okay, if you want, you can just continue on. Okay, and that's it. So, and you will have a nice and clear work on the right side and on the wrong side too. From my point of view, it's better. Okay, now that's it. This is the project. This is the pattern stitch that I just wanted to show you. It's actually easy, but so nice. As you can see, these beautiful crisscross stitches are really nice here. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe for more.